This is going to feel a little extra special. I'm going to feel like those girls on TikTok who hold like the mini microphones and make jokes about things. Welcome to what Bertrand said is the only product marketing session on the entire schedule. So I don't know what you all are doing here as product people, but I'm glad you're here. Just kidding. All right. So we saw the sponsor slide. I've renamed this 2,000 times because that's what I do. So I'm calling it From Despair to Delight, how to blueprint use cases that drive value and adoption. So, hi, I'm Michael. If you're looking for me on LinkedIn, it's Michael Robin. I support early stage products that go to market with clear, differentiated messaging, launches, and sales enablement. And their content. I like hats, boots, cooking, karaoke, cats, and F1. And when I'm not doing the marketing stuff, I garden, hang out with my boys and my husband. So if you want to go to the other session, the TLDR is really easy. You find out the customer pain, then you help them with their decision making by highlighting values aligned with their pain points and turn that into building a product that delights them. This is what we do, and this is why we do it. We are problem solvers. Is there anyone in here who hates solving problems? Cool. Good. I think that there's a huge difference. A lot of people separate product owners, product managers, etc., even product developers, product managers, and product marketers from understanding that customer's problem with the way they go about it, what they need to do in their roles and responsibilities. So I'm going to give a scenario of a customer despair. This is one that I'm working with right now. They're currently working on solving a problem where the time and complexity required to ensure app security and compliance is too much. It diverts the attention from the product builder and the resources from the core product development, and it can delay the launch. The source is mainly the user login portal, the app dashboard to manage everything, and also having basic and advanced security features in the app. That is what they're trying to solve. So how do we get this right? My thesis that I'm working on with my past couple clients that I've gotten since I've turned from marketing VP to product marketer is that we all need to focus on customer intelligence. There's been this product marketing, don't worry about, we've got it over here. We know our ICP. You guys just go look at how we can work on messaging that makes us look different from the other guys. So you all know this. I'm not going to read off of the slide, but this came to me over a series of bad things happening to me and then something really good happening to me. So at the end of 2020, I had a very good friend tell the CMO of a very big company that was backed by Vista Equity that I was the best person to run her $1 billion in revenue, North America and the Americas marketing team for Finastra. They had 9 products in banking. And I somehow convinced her that she was right without doing any research. Huge problem there. And so unlike me, but pandemic times call for chaotic measures. So first day on the job, the person whose role I was taking over thought it would be great to put me on a call with a product owner. And this person sold his product to the parent company. So he knew everything about his product. And that day, he made me cry. Not a good look for the person who's supposed to be bringing in $1 billion in revenue and managing a team that will be selling those products for as long as they will be employed there. It wasn't a good look. It wasn't a good year, and I was embarrassed. I was also embarrassed that I didn't know that being the head of the Americas for marketing also included LATAM and Canada. And it's funny because I love to research. So that was a very, very bad look. It actually ruined my life there for a year. Next role that came to me was an audit and advisory company. And I took my time and I did my research. And I actually had some friends that were auditors at KPMG. I had a friend that worked in the finance consulting side at Deloitte. And I talked with them about, how do you feel about this? They are a regulatory tech company. They're doing AI. They say they can detect anomalies. Not really sure how the product works. I haven't seen it. And they explained to me some of the terms of art that I would need to know just coming in on day one. I took the role, started meeting with the product owners. None of them made me cry. And we were able to have a very successful relationship. And that made me go, okay, this is good. I like this. I can have conversations with the product owners, and I can have conversations with the product managers, and we were starting to actually understand not the competitors in the space, but the customers. So back to this customer I'm working with now. So with the problem, we learned that organizations face significant delays, high costs in setting up their secure infrastructure for essentials like login, verification, et cetera. And what was missing was that uniform security structure that was scalable, compliant, easy to deploy, eliminating the need for like an expert setup, high upfront costs. Anyway, tons and tons and tons of features on this one. So before this started to get built, about a month ago when I got approached with this idea, I was like, yeah, this already exists. Like CrowdStrike. CrowdStrike has this, Microsoft has this. And this engineer said, no, not with laundry list of security features. This is a very security-based product. And here are the reasons why I think it will make a difference. In the next handful of years, we're going to be seeing more products that need these features because of all of these vulnerabilities that have been coming out and XYZ. And I know this person because I've been doing a lot of security research in the last 6 months because I've also been seeing that trend. So we started building some use cases based on researching the features, researching the pains, researching the needs. And I'm sure that when you all go through this process, it feels like you're beautiful minding it, right? Like I haven't quite figured out how to get AI to help me with this process. It just feels like a giant smorgasbord of technical words and customer surveys and insights and like what you know intuitively about humans, their pains, their needs, and it's tricky. So if anyone has that answer, I'm sure it will make a remarkable talk at the next product camp. But you're gathering insights from various sources just to like shape these use cases. And sometimes you can do it for the whole product you're building. Maybe it's a whole company you're building based on the product, or it's a product for a new line for a company, et cetera. Maybe it's for a feature that you're adding. But we decided to go feature by feature basis because what we found was, yes, there are competitors in this space, and we will get the question, well, how is it not like CrowdStrike? How is it not like Microsoft's XYZ? How is it not like AWS's XYZ? So we would have to break down the other things that people would need to do to make this a more secure environment. For example, here's a use case. So organization has a NAP idea, limited budget, in-house security expertise, and they just have insane amount of delays in setting up their user auth access controls and compliance measures. So There are two features in there that they would need to add from third-party providers: user auth and access controls, identity access management. So they need to bring in Okta, for example, if they had something like CrowdStrike. A solution would be this tool we're hypothetically building. And then the impact would be that they can focus on their product, they can speed up their launch, gather their user feedback early, iterate faster, gaining a competitive edge, saving time and resources. Because if you're a developer and a team who are focusing on something like, audit and advisory work, you're not experts in security. That's not what you want to be spending your time on. You're not the right people for that job. Okay, so scenario, different thing. There's an app. They have rapid user growth. They're struggling to maintain a secure login, CAPTCHA, user verification, and the team is really stretched thin on maintaining that infrastructure, ensuring high performance and impacting development speed. So again, other features are listed in the solution that automate security features as they scale, integrating DDoS protection. So for those of you who aren't aware of how DDoS works, DDoS protects against brute force attacks. So if like multiple people are hitting the site at the same time at volume, it could look like a DDoS attack, but sometimes it's just that the site just became very popular rapidly. So that's not really great for scalability if you have multiple different users across the world that just heard about your app on like Oprah or something, and they're like, oh, I want to download this right now. DDoS detection will detect that it's a event and not a brute force attack. And again, the impact to the business. So in my framework, the use case has the problem clearly stated, the solution clearly stated, and then the impact clearly stated. So then focusing on the needs and desires. So you go through the use case, you focus on the needs and desires of the users, the champions, and the decision makers. And this piece to me is so key. It's key for building a roadmap that everyone can align on. It's key for product managers to narrow down team goals and vision. It's key to keeping the product marketers and the marketing team in shape, and the business to keep goals aligned with sales. Looking at the goals of why a customer would even buy your product in the first place and use it. So their metrics for success, if they even bought your product, would be rapid time to market, effortless security maintenance, seamless scalability, and confidence and compliance. So if you craft your use case around actionable problems, it should be designed to solve all of that despair. So I think you get what it is that company is trying to build. So it is, they had validated the use case against my framework, added some features, took away some features, but it's currently in development, which is awesome. And now is the big translation part. So going back to that story. So I worked for that audit and advisory company for about a year or so before it changed CEO hands and they got a new CFO. The CFO had worked for like an online website business where you get to just like buy your domain online. And he'd never worked at a company that sold a platform building relationship type of company. And so he didn't really understand why when you attended an event in August, you did not get your return by October. So anyway, I was let go because I couldn't justify that on a call. I was just like really having to hold my tongue back from saying, are you stupid? So yeah, it was a very difficult call. Anyway, so I left that organization, and earlier this spring after I was let go, I had some conversations with people I previously managed, and my previous product owner at that organization brought me in to another organization that's doing kind of the same line of work, different product. And we worked very closely together to take the technical messaging or the product messaging, which is totally necessary for user stories, for work stories, etc., but not super useful for marketing, and turn it into actual marketing messaging that makes sense. Not like, I was telling this to someone earlier with a smile on my face because I wrote a really snarky article about it. There was a security company that's tagline was, "Don't get hacked, get jacked." And I'm like, well, what does that mean? Like, I understand you're selling antivirus software, or like you are selling a tool for better attack surface management. But it would sound so much better if you said something that made sense to a CISO. So anyway, you kind of get my point. You don't want your hard work and your hard efforts to be distilled down to something that's just so fluffy and like promising cloud castles. It's just stuff that doesn't exist. Cloud castles is a German terminology for vaporware. So here's a technical description for authenticated dashboard pass-through. Even like saying that is like, marketers are like, what? And I'm okay with making fun of myself because I'm like, what is that? I don't know. So written in a feature description, and this is really useful for the champions in the organization you're selling to. This is useful for IT. It's great, but writing it in one sentence, is manageable. Putting it on your website. You're selling a security product, you still need to say what it is. Like it's effortless, secure, no extra logins, smooth navigation, you're increasing productivity, right? So these are just some interesting ways to translate the same message into something more compact, something that isn't lying or reducing the weight of what it is you're trying to accomplish. Another example, brute force detection. That's a really sexy feature. But you're like, okay, ... Like, how do I say that? Proactive brute force detection, no more sleepless nights over security threats. That sounds pretty good. I don't want to lose sleep anymore over that. With automated attack prevention, your users can log in with peace of mind while you focus on building what matters. It sounds so good, like a bottle of NyQuil. Anyway, and then just another example of further messaging you can offer the rest of the team. So in my experience, and this is limited, so I'm open to obviously suggestions, questions like you're a hack. Solving their despair correctly leads to delighted customers that trust you and loyal clients. So, ready for a real world example? Cool. Awesome. So I got hired by a company. It started in the beginning of May, and the CEO was like, okay, so we're attending a conference the first week of June. We need to completely rewrite all the content on our website. And also, you need to provide us like some brochures and like I need a case study also first week of June. Okay. So luckily it was a client, like a audience I knew really well. Have any of you worked with auditors, accountants? Yes. Do you know how picky they are? They're so picky. They're so picky. Okay, so picky. Basically, the problem is auditing and accounting, you have so much paperwork and you have so many regulations that the majority of the time, it's like looking into several filing cabinets and it takes a lot of time to do a single audit. A lot of it feels like busy work, and it hinders on productivity, which can take away from growth or innovation in the firm, okay? So during this short period of time that I needed to do this, they had already outlined what they needed to get from me. So they already did the research and interviews, persona development, they did the pain point alignment, clear impact statements, scenario examples, which is amazing, because my product owner knew that I would not accept a 1-month fire drill like that. So the 3 needs and desires and features that we agreed on were fast and accurate accounting research. So the product needed to have preloaded libraries, and it was already built. So it had all of this in it. They also had a feature that had the ability to simplify contract agreements. So basically giving a TLDR on this. And then an integration with the firm's document storage system, which could also include a client contract if the client was open to that, and any firm documentation that was needed. And then the 3 reasons why a firm would use this: basically maximizing efficiency, improving satisfaction, and driving innovation, which is what all of the big firms are looking for. You look at KPMG, they just acquired a AI firm. Clark Newber's working with a lot of AI practitioners, et cetera. So they are the agentic AI platform for intelligent accounting. I came up with this one. What does that mean? They just use a multi-agent AI software to make their accounting things smart. And we conducted a survey with one of their clients that we used for a lot of our collateral, like users love Materia. It just made them faster. Users trusted Materia. Big thing for accountants, trust. So on June 20th, we issued a press release that they came out of stealth. They announced their Series A round, and that was super awesome. Earlier this week, they announced that they got acquired by Thomson Reuters. So interesting, fast. So interesting and so fast. Thomson Reuters they were involved in their original fund, so they had their eye on them for a content partnership. When I talked with the CEO about the change in acquisition, it was that the messaging shifted in the organization from being very focused on research and accounting to actually being usable for accountants and being something that could change the firm, something that could change the practitioners, and focus much less on the research side of it, something that would look less and feel less like a ChatGPT. So just remember the framework: despair, decide, and delight. And just one more thing, collaboration. If you can be involved in hiring decisions, great. If you can't, or if you want to help marketers, please, please, please have them study the terms of art or the jargon. It will get them there faster. Don't just tell them what good or bad looks like, show them. I've had many, many examples thrown my way, and I'm like, oh, okay. And be patient if you've got a patient bone in you. 1 minute for questions. I have one in the back. Yeah, I know.
I walked in late, I apologize if this is all, everybody knows this, but terms of art, is that like business knowledge?
Yeah, it's business knowledge, any vocabulary. So I said like probably 6 security terms in here, like DDoS, OAuth, etc. Yeah, it's just like acronyms, words that aren't commonplace outside of the building. Yeah, thank you. And I guess terms of art is a marketing term of art.
A quick question, what is your approach in, what's the rule of thumb, when you define the problem to address the audience, right, your like customer, going from like 2 extreme cases, right, when it's like too generic, that's kind of appeals to everyone, right, and too specific, that this appeals to really like small part of like your like potential customers. How do you find this balance that's enough generic, right? So people, non-technical people could understand. And at the same time, it's so like people who really needs to see it, right, the way how you want to see it, they will be able to see the benefits.
I think what you mean is when I'm doing the translation of the language from the technical all the way out to being more like common, you need just continue to modify it, but you can't lose the important things. Like, sorry, I cannot take out authentication dashboard. That is what it's called, right? Like, no one knew what CrowdStrike was before it was CrowdStrike. Like, there are certain things that people will need to research and discover. We're just becoming a much smarter world. So that just encourages people to get smarter. Yeah, that's my snarky way of saying, like, sometimes you can't dumb it down anymore. Yeah. Thank you guys so much. Yep.